Yeah. I couldn't help but make a postcard. I mean, so thank you for well said, Pat. Ano, talagang this trip to Bauko was really needed. Ano, I mean, after 2 years of not seeing the farmers, and then talagang but like what Shar said earlier, they were food secure. In fact, they were worried about us, but we were seeing firsthand how the climate crisis is really affecting this everywhere, no? But this is Monamon, Bauko, the community we help. It's such a picturesque place, very remote. That's why it's picturesque. Takes about 10 hours at least to get there, one way. And we were connected with them in 2013 when they're with the Episcopal Church. They were supported by the Episcopal Church, the Community Development Program, or Community Development arm of the church. And when the head heard Shar talk about our model, Pamayanihan, or CSA, they connected us with them. Kumbaga the farmers were ready, were ripe for a market, And right now they're actually the Chico River Organic Producers Organization, the women's organization we help, is one of the, if not the strongest group, that Good Food is supporting. Very mature organic practice. But of course, we experienced parang with the pandemic, talagang something slid back. But so this is it. They're members of an IP community called Kankanay. There are 26 active women farmers. They started as a mixed group, mixed gender farmers organization, but it shifted, and like what Shar said, talagang the model resonated with the women. And when we had an action research with them, when we consulted with them, they did say that the model, organic production plus this, this purchase guarantee, the making sure that there's a steady market, is a model fit for women in particular, because it provides them a steady income. Their farms are small, in their backyards. They can bring their children there. Plus, they're assured of safe produce. So this is briefly the community. We're supporting with this fundraising. Most of them are also, majority are mothers. A few are senior citizens na, but even in their senior citizenship, they're able to still earn an income with this model, because they're assigned, apart from being farmers, they're assigned like if not administrative work, like with quality control, so nakakahanap talaga na nasusuportan, hindi yung isang klase lang, like yung kung sino yung malakas lang or bata, so even kung vulnerable or marginalized na nga yung babae, what more the senior na women, so but the model is able to help them with and provide them with a steady income, so this is Monamon, and there are 7 sitios, quite very dispersed, so what we did with your support, we were able to actually 3 days bakbakan talaga. We were able to visit several farms. We arrived on day 1 at 3 p.m. having left Manila at around 5 or 6 in the morning. Yun talagang, and immediately had a participatory consultation with them. To learn more. Parang, well, we needed to talk about why we were there, but also listen. What are the climate impacts you're actually encountering now, talagang, and what was your experience when it comes to loans? Parang we wanted to hear their point of view, and then we were able to conduct a farm visit. So we visited the farm of the president of the organization, and she's one of the very, very few who has a crop shelter, a small rain shelter. I think there was one rain shelter that was apart from the one granted by DA, no, parang I think it was abandoned, no? Parang she saw that nobody was using it. So she transferred some of she used and you'll see it later, yung mga steel bars, ano to, yung crooked na, or steel bars without the plastic. So parang wala ring protection, di ba? But yeah, so very makeshift, a lot of the rain shelters that now cannot withstand extreme weather conditions. And then on day 2, we were able to visit 3 farms, and we conducted interviews, to really learn more, and for video material, that we were able to use in our climate resiliency learning exchange, which Shar will tell you more about later, I think. And again, continued the consultation, Tapos on day 3, we left early. No, we left Bauko early, Mountain Province, and then headed down to Capas, no, where we had a farm visit, no, and talked to a member of the organization which benefited from the fund the farmer, no, of when was this, Shar? Siguro mga 2014, ano?
2013.
One of the 2013. So one of the 3 cycles, no. So that's in Capas, and this batch is I think the original, the original farmers. These were the ones who were, I think some of them were tired of the boom bust cycle of rice, conventional rice farming, wanted to try have a sideline of organic fruits and vegetables, and they've been with our partners, no, since we started. So that was the itinerary, and what did your support, diba, enable, or what did we learn because of your support, we experienced firsthand, no, that our farmers are truly at the front lines of the climate crisis. We visited, toured the farms, and then come evening, ang tindi talaga nung ulan. I mean, just thinking how we were out there like 3-4 hours ago, parang see everything exposed, and the downpour was really intense and sustained. So naisip mo, ano kaya nangyari dun sa mga nakita natin na gulay, no? And this is just what you have on your screen is just one of the photos, no, we were able to gather, no. So we asked them, and this is between Capas and Bauko, no. It's really heavier rains, no. Talagang iba daw ngayon. And we know this, no. Stronger winds, no, talagang, and the heat stress, no. In Capas, this is really extreme, no, the heat. But in Bauko naman, it's the sudden shifts, no. And while we consider 30 degrees, parang here in Manila, I mean, it's not too hot. In Mountain Province, this is heat stress, so it's really affecting their crops, no, the upland crops. And of course, no, yung water shortage, no, especially in Capas. In Bauko, they don't have this problem, parang may ang dami pa ring source, kumbaga, ng water, no, from the mountains, but this is becoming a challenge in Capas, no, and of course access to seeds, and by that, and it's not just parang there are a lot of seeds that are for sale, like, diba, in supermarkets, on Shopee and Lazada, ganyan. But what we're talking about are open pollinated seeds, and climate resilient seeds that the farmers, kasi with the hybrid seeds, they have like they're made to parang a Terminator quality, no? So they can only bear fruit once, and then parang when you save the seed, the next generation won't be true to type, no? Because it might not flower, or it might, yun. So kumbaga, you're not guaranteed. So you have to keep buying seeds. And for small resource poor farmers, no, they would like to be able to save their own seeds and not have it criminalized, diba? Not have it seen as copyright infringement, because access to seeds, to open pollinated seeds, it guarantees diverse food, and diverse food is a proxy for nutrient security at home, diba? And of course, resilience, to be able to build resilience, we tend to forget, a lot of us, me included, no, tend to forget that our farmers are scientists, no? They may not wear lab coats, but our farmers know, they've, over the centuries, they've been breeding resilient varieties, getting the best traits from different ones, diba? Different seeds, to be able to come up with crops, that are appropriate to the conditions they face. That's why we have salt tolerant varieties, or drought tolerant varieties, drought resistant. And it's really hard to do that, to build your resilience from the seed itself, when it's something you have to keep buying because it's copyrighted, no, it's patented, it's privatized. So they brought up, this need for open pollinated organic seeds. Right now, what they're experiencing, in terms of, because of these extreme weather conditions, and I saw this there. We see this when they send gulay, no, just this yesterday, I think Ernest showed photos of zucchinis and pears, that were really talagang, some were parang had soft core rot, no, more plant diseases, no, and this is a fact, no, with extreme weather shifting, there's really a rise in plant diseases, no. Of course, stunted growth, no, they brought this up, and damaged harvest. And when this happens, really, of course, there's a decrease in yield and the low quality produce, which of course means lower income, no, for their basic needs, and their ability, which they also raised with us, no, during the consultation, na parang, we're going to have this fund, this resilience fund. They need support in terms of being able to repay, no, parang how a connection to the market, no, making sure the products are of quality, being able to expand their market beyond good food, so that they are able to repay the loans, the microloans, and of course help other farmers. That's why in the first Fund the Farmer, we were able to cycle the funds for 3 times. No, nagkaroon lang ng, but kumbaga, we want to be able to continue that. No, so of course, decrease in food and nutrition security, as mothers, no, talking to them, this was also foremost in among what they brought up. Which is so ironic, and so sad really to hear, lalo na this is the same community. I'm not saying it's just for them, sad for them, but of course for everyone. But parang during I remember in the pandemic, this is the same group of farmers who when there was a lockdown and there was no way to transport vegetables, in the early days of the pandemic, they opened their farms to the community, to their communities, so that they could exchange produce. People could just walk in, to their farms and harvest. So talagang food secure sila actually. Talagang yun. Tapos ngayon, knowing this, tapos talagang hearing from them yung worries of food and nutrition security because of the climate impacts. Parang it parang nakakalungkot, no, yung na marinig yun. That's why parang talking to them, the conversation started as, parang providing rain shelters. But really, during the conversation, there was talk of market, there was talk of nutrition security, diba? Parang, it's really asking for resilience, no? Beyond the infrastructure, there has to be a model, no? And that's why we actually are very active, briefly Shar shared na parang yung the model. We're very active about sharing this model to other farming communities, because it does work. Kumbaga, you won't get rich. Naalala ko si Shar, you won't get rich, but you won't go hungry, like on game. But yeah, so parang from rain shelters talaga to resilience. So they would love to be able to grow food, especially during these historically lean months. Ano, talaga, ito na, that's where we are right now. Ano. And of course, improve the quality of their produce and their ability to deliver, receive regular income for themselves. And what I like, ano, when I joined Good Food, what I like about the model, talagang kasi organizational development is such a core thrust, no, of the group, of the organization. Parang if we are to build the power, no, the power of farmers, if we are to center them, then we have to grow their strength as a community so that they are able to represent themselves. They grow in confidence. We don't need to speak on their behalf all the time. They can talk about what their needs are. Diba? So yun. So talagang part of the commitment talaga of the model is supporting the organization, ano, in their development. And of course, improve women's economic empowerment. When you improve women's economic empowerment, you improve the condition of children, because women, according to studies, reinvest their income sa pamilya nila no? Talagang naaalagaan yung well-being ng bata, no? Whenever you invest in women, no? And of course, it leads to improved household food and nutrition security. So we would love to be able to bring, with the rain shelters, continuation of the different aspects of the model, yung parang, not just for Bauko, no? Kumbaga, what we're developing is something that we hope to sustain, with the other farmers groups, because I don't think this will stop with just one farmer group needing climate resilience support, So finally parang while we hope to bring in physical infrastructures, there's also the social infrastructure of care and equity. As what Char said, talagang what we hope to do with Fund the Farmer and the programs, the different programs that she will lay out, are programs and activities that recenter the Filipino farmers. And then actually yung necessary to surface the indigenous knowledge, napakalaki. They have their own way of saving seeds, of caring for the environment, that unfortunately is parang being overtaken by more modern practices. And this isn't to say now we're against modernity, but sometimes there's so much wisdom rooted, in such indigenous practices that we hope we find the balance, diba, in highlighting these as well. And of course, promoting appropriate interventions, which we're such big fans of this, talagang, because these are resource poor farmers. Parang sabi nga namin, hindi makakapagdala, hindi siya app yung what we want to offer. Kasi ang hirap ng signal sa Bauko. So wala yung app pa lang, diba? Parang hindi na. So parang always keeping in mind, what are appropriate interventions? And we learn this by recentering the farmers, Tapos strengthening, as I mentioned earlier, strengthening the collective response, talagang building their strength as a collective, as the farmers organization, so that they can represent themselves to the LGUs, about their needs. They can represent themselves to other marketing groups. I mean, hindi kami selfish. Parang maganda nga kung if they have other customers, diba? So so talagang, they actually, itong Bauko, they were able to get other markets na prior to the pandemic. Meron na silang dalawa, but with the pandemic nagsara yung isa, and yung isa parang talagang parang hindi pa rin mabalikan yung dating demand, So so support women's empowerment, and of course parang this is at the heart of what we do. It's promoting farmer eater solidarity, talagang bringing in consumers. I mean, right now, consumers are asking, we are all asking, how can we help the farmers? How can we make sure that the people feeding us are not themselves hungry? Parang there's such injustice in that, and people know this, So parang we're witnessing like massive support, volunteers, people like you, parang asking us, how can we help? So there's really parang what Shar and Ernest say, parang we don't sell vegetables, we sell relationships, di ba? Parang corny pero totoo. So parang we keep doing that and people are able to support the farmers through the model, no, through the farm share, the subscription model. We're able to guarantee a market for the farmers so that they parang with the market, no, not parang not really something they have to worry about. They're able to focus on growing food the best way they know how. And as farmers, they know that. So trusting that, parang removing a lot of the parang kumbaga the difficulties para makahinga ng konti and for them to be able to focus on what they can do, which is sustainable agriculture talaga. So yun. So that's it. So that's what we learned, parang from our visit, parang how the focus from rain shelters expanded to programs, based on their needs, our conversations with them. And I think Shark will be able to go into detail, yung kung ano-ano yung mga yon. So,